This is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon, and it is the more complicated version of the JLC Master Ultra Thin. In this video, I will let you in about its four most important features of the Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon, and I'm also going to answer the most frequently asked questions about this watch, like do the complications make this watch too big? How does it compare quality-wise to an A. Lange & Söhne, for example? What is so special about a Tourbillon, and what about the overall pricing? I'll be answering all of these and many more questions, so by the end of this video, you will know everything there is about this watch. And at the very end, I will also give you my 2 cents about what I personally like and dislike about this watch, so let's get started. Right, as always, let's start out with the hard facts. This watch is part of the Master Collection, which, combined with the Reverso line, pretty much makes up JLC's core collection. I'm going to touch on the eponymous complication in chapter 3 of this video, but let's first get to its measurements, because I know a lot of you want to know how this is going to affect its wearability. This Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon has a diameter of 40mm, a lug-to-lug of 46.9mm, and a height of 11.5. The spring bars measure 21mm, so, nothing out of the ordinary here. Overall, this one is a bit bigger compared to the standard variant, the Master Ultra Thin, but it is still well within what we would, consider totally fine for dress watch standards in terms of sizing. This watch is actually pretty comfy, so just what you want from your dress watch, so it wouldn't bother you when wearing it. It is also suited for smaller wrists, as you can see here, so I do not see anything wrong with people even perhaps wearing it with a 160mm wrist, for example, since the lug-to-lug here is pretty tame. Okie dokie, let's get to the point number 2 and talk about the overall quality of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon. It comes as, no surprise that when you buy JLC, you usually don't have to worry about that at all. But I know that there's still the question about how, robust the movement actually is, and how a JLC like this compares to something equally as highly esteemed, like, a watch from A. Lange & Söhne, for example. And I can assure you, when it comes to the movement, you do not have to worry about anything at all. It is robust and reliable, and JLC movements are regarded as some of the best, period. I mean, there's a reason why JLC is being called the watchmaker's watchmaker. I'd even say they're almost more famous for their movements than their watches itself. Of course, this isn't your heavy-duty Rolex or Omega movement, but a slightly more delicate and elegant one, which is way more compatible with a dress watch like this anyways. But I would still say that compared to an A. Lange & Söhne movement, JLC still has some catching up to do, since Lange is way more detailed when it comes to their finishing and overall care. You still won't be disappointed with your JLC though, considering the price you're paying, and it might be a bit tacky to use that phrasing within luxury watches, but when it comes to dress watches, the price and value proposition is really top-notch with JLC. Before we continue with this exquisite Jaeger-LeCoultre, I want to take the time and say a big thank you to Max Rothfuss from rothfuss.de, who let me borrow this watch for my video today. He is my main go-to address when it comes to everything vintage and pre-owned here in Stuttgart, and I 100% recommend checking him out online on his website, because starting this Sunday at 6 p.m. German time, which is GMT +1, he is starting his Black Week sale with some truly crazy prices, like this white gold 40mm day date, or this super beautiful vintage Audemars Piguet Royal Oak for just 14,850 euro. The website is in German, but the ordering process is pretty self-explanatory. But should you have any questions, you can always just, send him an email and just ask. So yeah, make sure to check out his crazy Black Week sale starting this Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT +1. And thank you again, Max, for letting me borrow this watch for my video today. Right, let's finally talk about the tourbillon. What is so special about a tourbillon, and what is it even for? So, the tourbillon is basically this contraption which constantly rotates the balance wheel, the balance spring, and the escapement while the movement is still running, to counter the effect of Earth's gravity on the isochronal properties of the balance wheel and the spring, to quote Hodinke here. So a tourbillon distributes the force of gravity as equally as possible for the most accuracy in all positions. Whether or not you will actually need a complication like this nowadays, well, that is a very subjective question, but no matter what, it still remains a very popular complication, especially with pricier, more elegant dress watches, and tourbillons are, seen as a prestige project among watchmakers. So yeah, A tourbillon at 6 like this one isn't only beautiful to look at, but also exhibits the capabilities of a watchmaker like JLC. Okay, let's move on with the pricing of this watch as well as how it retains its value over time, because I've seen lots of people ask about this online too. So what does this one cost? In Germany, you can see its retail price is at 88,500 euro, which is about 91,000 US dollars. But with a little bit of patience and a quick online search, you'll be able to find even unworn watches, starting at about 60 to 70,000, which pretty much answers the question about its resale value, I believe. But in case you plan on buying a watch like this, something like that should not be of matter to you anyways, I guess. Even with more affordable pre-owned or secondary market prices, a JLC isn't a watch that is quickly moving through different owners, especially not one like this ultra massive thin tourbillon. So yeah, you buy this one because you want it and not because you might change your mind in about 4 months time. And now that we have our main 4 features covered, I quickly want to touch on the things I really like but also dislike about this watch. What I personally really love, and this should not come as a surprise if you have watched my videos for some time, is that I really love its simplicity, even on the more extravagant variant with the moon phase. Thanks to that, the tourbillon really pops out even more, and I really like it when just these big major watchmakers pick only 1 or 2 major highlights on the watch and really do everything to make them stand out and shine. It would have been a shame if they just had drowned the tourbillon within a sea of way too intricate, numerals or hands or whatever. So yeah, really happy about that. But it's really difficult for me to pick something which I could honestly say that I would dislike about this watch, because yeah, I really like it. It's well proportioned. I like the lugs and the case in general. The dial is very tasteful and the sizing works too. I guess the pricing is a bit steep, but then again, you get it for less when it's pre-owned. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. And so here we have it, the 4 most important things you need to know about the JLC Master Ultra Thin Tourbillon, so you know whether or not this one might be something to add to your personal collection. Now you know what to look out for, how it might fit you, how it compares to other high-end watchmakers, and its overall resale value. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like that, I recommend subscribing to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos I post here. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!